All right, so let's talk about outside blocks. So technically the person is here, they're throwing hot haymakers or hooks like this. So they're technically throwing them from the outside, right? Boom, 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 boom. Or they're really wild and they're trying to use all their body force. So technically you still have this triangle-ish. We always want to be able to see shoulders and hips. This right here is always where our eye contact is. It's never looking at this arm or that arm. It's always watching this point of contact because our body can adjust easier when it sees the punch coming. So if I go to throw here, see how my shoulder is starting to angle, see how my shoulder goes. So it doesn't matter. Even when I'm going straight, my shoulders are turning somewhat on my hips. So when people are throwing these wild, crazy haymakers, we're technically, hands are up, tiger scorpion style. So we're going to actually use this part of our hand to deaden their arms. So when the strike comes in, we're technically going outside. So we're beating the arm as it comes, like this. So, boom, right? Boom. And we use our hips, so to whip it. So we're here, our hips whip out. That's how we get our power. When we're smaller and we got bigger opponents, we have to get inside. So technically, the closer we are, the better off. Elbows do not go way out here. The only time we're using that is if they grabbed our wrist, then we use our elbow to go over and then come back for strikes. So the closer our elbows are to the body, the more power we have because we're using a washing machine style, the old school washing machine, right? Because our back of line, our power comes from our hips, our elbows in, and we could easily use our elbows for strikes or to divert. Also, so our meeting point, think of so this part of our wrist being technically kind of like a ball. So when you push on a ball on a certain side, the wrist becomes that ball. So we're going to try to move their power into a different position. So if the strike's coming from technically from this, coming off this side towards us, we're going to use our wrist to meet and then technically divert it. We can divert and then hook to go into grappling moves, like so I could do an arm grab and then do a throw from that situation. I can implement my elbow into their elbow and go for breaks and everything like that. So from technically everything, I take it pretty much I mixed it all up with different things into Muay Thai and everything else. So just from this position, the shoulders, the arms and shoulders always from here, I can easily use my arms to hook in and go over an arm as a snake, so snake-like, and so I could, here I'll go into hand manipulation. So let's say we meet, now I can easily hook over and pull, just like a praying mantis. So praying mantis, they always grab their opponents and pull them in, right? So they reach out, grab, snap. So if I use my hip movements to add into it, I can easily use my hips to jolt a whole bunch of power into it. It doesn't matter how small you are. Once you get the frame of this and the back straight and the ball movement down pat, you can generate so much power just from being a small person. It doesn't matter, because the bigger they are, the easier they are to make them fall and come off balance. So because they tend to put their power, they'll stick their power, technically if they have their arms all the way reached and they kind of lean, they're already off balance. So our objective is always to keep our back aligned and settled. So and elbows in. Our elbows in, always protecting our ribs. So rib protection here and here. So if somebody goes low, I can easily break a fist if they decide to go for my rib strikes. So my hands are here, and I drop my elbow down on that strike. If I see it's so close to my body, I can easily adjust to that blow coming in. So it goes pop, right? And then it goes to the other side, I can easily pop. And then also, since this is our ball, this area is kind of like our deflection and our shield, right? From our elbow to the wrist. So I easily use this to meet an arm and deflect. Or since I'm smaller, if I'm way smaller than the opponent, I can use my arm out, but I meet the resistance, right? I need to get under. Since I'm smaller, I use my elbow and move up and push them up. So they end up coming this way, right? To fall. So all of my strikes come from taking the person off balance. So, all right, if you look at how my feet are, so I'm straight, I'm pointed, I got triangle stands here. But if you think of a chair, there's 4 legs on the chair, right? So in the front of me is a weak point. If I got pulled this way, I'm off balance. If I go back this way, I'm off balance because I'm missing a chair behind me, a leg behind me, and a leg in front of me. So from this position, technically, like all meet greets, we always start from this position. But since we're in the tiger scorpion position, whenever an attack comes, we can easily step our leg back. And the reason why our knees are bent is so that we can actually do this. So any power coming in, I can easily adjust and snap. So if it's an arm I grab, I easily snap the elbow just from this position. So whatever they present, whatever power comes towards me on whatever side, that's where I'll absorb and snap something. Doesn't matter what it is. If I want to go up, I can snap the elbow going up. So I absorb coming in, and then I present my elbow in the up position. If I just want to take them down, I can easily hook over and then use my elbow to push downward, right? So this stance technically is one of the better offensive type of situations. So it presents us to say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Technically, they don't know what I'm doing, but technically I'm a threat as it is. They don't see me as a threat, but I become that threat when they present that attack. So I'm sunk in, I adjust, and I snap. So we're going to get into that next. Is about how we work this situation, right?